Hey everyone, so today I want to do another vlog video. I'm looking at myself in my camera and this is the only decent light I have at the moment, but it's making me look like I have absolutely no colour in my face, but yeah, even if I move back, no, it doesn't make any difference. But yeah, this is the only decent lighting I have. It's really grey outside, so I'm surprised that it's having this effect on my face, but I don't know, maybe I'll try and edit it, but this is ridiculous. I can't do anything about this. Okay, never mind. So today I wanted to do a throughout the years video, and if you don't know what a throughout the years video is, basically I think that Juicy Star 07 came up with it. I'm not sure. I know she was the first person I saw to do it. I'm not sure if she came up with it or not. But anyway, it's basically you do a video talking about sort of things that happened to you, things that you did in each year of your life or each section of your life. I'm not doing each separate year, I'm doing sort of different periods of my life. But yeah, so I have watched her. She did them quite a while ago. I don't think she's done one in a while, but I enjoyed watching hers, and I know other people have done them as well. I had done a couple on my old channel, but then I took them down a while ago, so I thought I'd redo them. So the first one I think is the hardest one to do because obviously you're very young, you don't really remember much. Most of the things you do know from that time, you've sort of been told, I suppose. So I'm doing, for my first video, from me being born to my first year of primary school, which we called reception at my school, which is basically the year when you're 4 or 5, and it's like your first year of like big school. That's what they do in England at least, but I know that different schools, even in England, call it different things, do different things, so that's the period of life, so the first sort of nearly 6 years of my life, basically. So I was born in October of 1993, which makes me 18 now. I didn't live here when I was born, I lived further into London. I lived with my mum and dad in a one bedroom flat, I think it was. They met because they lived like above each other, so I think my dad had the ground floor, my mum had the first floor, and then when they got married or something, I don't know. I don't really know the full story, but one of them moved into the other apartment. I think we moved into my mum's, or they moved into my mum's, and then, yeah, that was it. That was where I was born. I don't really remember that flat at all because we moved to just outside London when it was about 2 weeks before I turned 2, so obviously I was still really young. I don't really remember it at all. The only sort of things I can visualise from it are things I've seen since then. There's a video that my dad did when we first moved here of me, aged 2, doing a sort of tour of our house, which is the oddest thing. My grandparents were here for some reason. I think they were coming to visit the house, and we've lived here 15 years now, I believe. Nearly 16 years. No, that can't be right. Nearly 17 years. It'll be 17 years this October. And the house looks so different now. The people who lived here before us were gardeners, so the garden was so perfect, so perfectly sort of, you know, well kept and tidy, and it's a jungle now. I'm not even kidding because we just don't take any care of it. The inside of our house is a complete mess as well. We are the most untidy people, so looking back at that video is like crazy for me because it looks so different. I don't remember it ever being like that in what I can remember. As I said, this is the hardest video, so there's only sort of things here and there, so this video could be shorter than some of the other ones. When I was 3, my sister was born. She was going to be born at the hospital, which is the most local to us, but she was really ill just before she was born, like she nearly died, so she was born in a London hospital. I think she was born at Guy's Hospital. I'm not sure if it was an emergency cesarean. I know she was like a week early. I don't really. I was very young and I haven't really been told everything since, I don't think. But what I do remember is because my mum was in hospital for so long with her, my grandma came up. She came and she lived with me and my dad for 3 weeks. And 3 weeks isn't actually that long, but I remember when I was like 3, it was such a long time. I'm sure I missed her, but I didn't feel like I was, you know, that far away from my mum for that long. I felt quite comfortable with my grandma. Like, when I was younger I was really bad with people, like people I didn't know, you know, I wouldn't even give them a chance at all. but my grandma was someone who, you know, I trusted even when I was that age, so that was fun. I remember her making fruit salads with me, and oh, I remember as well, there's a couple of parks near our house, and I always used to go with my mum to this one, which is still there, just this one park, and then literally around the corner is another one, and at this point in my life I had never been there, and my grandma was the first person to take me to it, so I always called it Grandma's Park whenever we went back until I was like, well, I don't know, a bit older at least. So I remember things like that. I fell over once and grazed my knee, and when you're 3, you know that's the most traumatic thing that can happen to you, basically. And I remember my mum, I don't know, I guess she sort of made a bit more of a fuss over me. I don't really remember. When I was younger, possibly. We've always had a sort of, not a bad relationship at all. My mum and I aren't, like, arch enemies or anything, but we've always argued. Like, I don't remember a time we didn't argue. Like, my dad will still tell me when I was like 1 or 2 we'd still scream at each other. Like, when I was that young we were having arguments. But anyway, yeah, I remember I grazed my knee and I was in the bath, like, I don't know, probably that day, I guess, and she was like, just put it under the water to clean it, and I was like, no, I can't. I just remember having this argument with her for what felt like ages, and eventually I put it under the water and I was like, oh. And that was like at least one of the first times that I remembered, like, my grandma is right sometimes. I've always been quite stubborn, always been like, I have to be right, but she proved me wrong this time. I remember this very, very vaguely. It was like a few days after she was born, I guess, my sister was born. We went up, this was my grandma and my dad and me, we went up on the train to the hospital. And I have, like, very vague memories of this. Like, I can remember, like, looking out the window on the train, and I can remember wandering around Waterloo Station, but that's about it. I sort of remember the hospital room she had, not in great detail. I've got, like, pictures of it, so that, like, reminds me, I guess. So I don't know how much of it is actually memory and how much of it is memory of, like, the picture. But anyway, we went to meet her, and I remember that I took her. Oh no, she'd bought me a present. My mum had basically got me a present. She's like, oh, it's from your sister. It was like this, it was a skipping rope, I remember this. It was a skipping rope, it had like plastic handles, and it was multicoloured, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I got her a doll, which she still has and loves today, which I find quite strange, but anyway. I remember that, and there's a picture of me when, like, we first met, and I look like I'm about to eat her, no joke. There's not much I remember from this age, really. I remember at preschool, I don't even remember this, my mum just used to tell me that there was this one time when she came to pick me up from preschool, and everyone else had gone, and she was like, where's my daughter? And I was fast asleep in the book corner. I don't remember this, but this is a story my mum used to tell me a lot when I was younger. There's not much I even remember from the first year of primary school, other than that I cried a lot because I didn't like being away from home. I was terrible like with being away from my mum, which makes when my grandma stayed with me so, like, abnormal. So it's like I definitely trusted her, but everyone else I was sort of, no, I'm not even going to give you a chance. I just remember we used to have in the mornings we'd have, like, fruit time, and you know, we'd have a rota, and each student's parents would bring in, like, fruit and stuff, and I just remember that was quite cool. And we had Friday afternoon games where they had the weirdest bikes. Like, they weren't even like bikes, they were just like tricycles, and they had like carriages in the back where someone could stand on it, and they had some really weird stuff. Like, they weren't like segways or something, you know, the ones where you stand up on the thing. I don't know, we just had some really weird equipment at my primary school, but I remember that being really cool. Yeah, there's not really that much I remember from being 0 to 5, but I seem to have rambled on for enough time now. I just wanted to get another video up, really. So thank you for watching. I'll try and do another one soon, because I really like these videos, and looking back on all the stuff that I've done is quite nice, so I'll try and do another one soon. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. I should have another cover up in the next couple of days. It's been a while. My voice has not been cooperating with me this week. That should be going up on my other channel in a couple of days. Or before, hopefully. So thank you for watching this video, and hope to speak to you soon. Bye!